Australia, promoting Australian education and development of Nepalese diaspora in Australia.
Hello and namaste. Welcome to Destination Australia television show. To provide you the real ground situation of study opportunities in Australia, we are here at Sydney. I'm trying to give you the fresh information about National Academy of Professional Studies NAPS. To provide you the information, we have very special guest from NAPS who is none other than Principal Sam. Let's welcome him to the show. Sam, you are welcome on our show.
Well, I'm very pleased to be on your program, and I love the name of your program, Destination Australia.
We are here at Sydney to give the fresh information about study opportunities in Australia. So let's have a talk about the teaching pedagogy of National Academy of Professional Studies, NAPS.
Yes, of course. First of all, I want you to understand one thing, and in fact, I want your viewers to understand one thing, that NAPS was established by a group of senior academics who are very experienced in the Australian and in fact the international university and tertiary education programs. What we wanted to do was to establish an institution that's better than the ones we attended. And so our teaching or our pedagogical style is actually quite critical to what we do here. We always ask students a simple question, that in choosing to go to an international institution, what do you look for? We think you look for, one, quality of the education that we offer or the schools offer. You look for the quality of care that people will give you. And above all, you look for whether they make you welcome as a person in a different environment, in a different culture. So our pedagogical style, our teaching programs aims at one simple fact, making sure the students get the best education possible so that they are better prepared for the future. In fact, the future is what we are all about. We aim for a future of professionalism, a future where a person's being trained today as students actually become our future professionals.
Sam, especially talking about the quality of education, the faculty members are the must. So let's have a talk about the NAPS faculties.
We have what I would call state-of-the-art facilities. We are a very modern institution. We have, instead of having the usual, things like projection and a screen, we don't use that. We think it is technology of the past. We use electronic whiteboards so that you can be versatile. Our classrooms have, of course, computers of the most modern versions. I'm not sure whether you viewers know a lot about computers or screens, but we use Bang & Olufsen screens, for instance. So our facilities are some of the best, and we can afford to do so because our numbers are not very large. Because we don't have very large numbers, we can afford to give our students some of the best facilities. We can afford to give our students more care and more one-on-one sort of attention. So our facilities are some of the best, but you also asked about our teachers. Now, it's interesting because as someone who has been in the educational business in Australia for the last 35 years, I have excellent network of teachers. And so what I've done here is to bring together some of my best connections and contacts of international and local academics who are going to teach our students accounting, who are going to teach our students all the most important issues in IT and related subjects. And so we are quite excited, in fact. And when we're talking about Destination Australia, and I will say to them, in fact, you couldn't choose a better place to study and you couldn't choose a better institution to study. We are small, but what we offer are actually big things.
Talking about the career prospect of the graduate students, how does NAPS nurturing their professional horizon during their study and after completing their graduation?
Well, we nurture them in many, many ways. For instance, on your entry into NAPS, the programs we have designed are actually very practical in orientation. That's one. Two, when you come into NAPS, the kinds of programs we also offer in terms of actual practical things, we do what we call experiential learning. We bring in outsiders to come and talk to the students so that these are professionals who bring their experience from their workplace into the classrooms to talk to our students. So in a way, our main objective really is to make sure that the students we train today become the leaders tomorrow. And that's quite critical for us. As I said, and I have to make this point very importantly, I used to be an international student myself. And so I've got experience and I've got ambition. I've got, if you like, a driving point to make to my international students that, you know, the future is bright. As a professional, that's what we want you to be. When you come to us, we aim to make you a professional. I say to parents out there, I say to students out there, come give us a raw student today, and in 3 to 4 years' time, we give you a professional.
International students are choosing Australia for their higher education and career placement as well. Talking about it, what sort of the opportunities are here in Sydney?
I live in Sydney. I've lived in Sydney for the last 20 years. I've also lived in cities in America. I've lived in cities in Europe. I've lived in cities in Africa. And I can truly tell you this, Sydney is one of the best cities in the world. It's one of the best because it's safe. It's one of the best because the climate is excellent. It's one of the best because infrastructure to travel around is easy. It's certainly one of the best because students are comfortable here. It's one of the best because we are multicultural. You can find people from every part of the world here. We live together, we study together, and we grow together. But much more important, we aim towards prosperity together. And for a student wanting a place to study, I would say Sydney. It's definitely one of the best places to study.
Thank you so much, Professor Syam. You have shared the most of the important tools for the aspiring student and parents. So finally, what's your message to them to choose Australia for their higher education?
Parents in Nepal, for students in Nepal, I have a simple message. When you go to overseas to study, you ask yourself a simple question. Who will give me the best for all my effort and for all my money that I spend? You ask yourself a simple question. Who would make me welcome so that I feel like I belong? You ask yourself, who would make me feel like a person, like a real student, like someone from Nepal who wants to study, not like just a number as such. And I say, if you can answer all these questions properly, we are perhaps better placed to give you those answers. Out here, our numbers are small, so we focus on our students. We have experienced as people who were once international students ourselves. And so you know something? We put ourselves in the position of a parent, in the position of an international student. And we say, many years ago, we were like you. We would like you to be even a better version of us tomorrow. So come and study with us. We may be small as an institution, but what we give is actually very big. We may be small as an institution, but the people here who are teaching are actually the senior professors who were in the bigger universities anyway. If you take my case, for example, I was a professor of law at the University of Technology, Sydney, for 19 years. I bring my experience here because I want myself as a former international student to be able to actually train and bring up students for a better tomorrow as professionals.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And as I said, I love the name of your program, Destination Australia. And I haven't been to Nepal yet, but I look forward to coming to making Nepal my destination also.
Destination Australia, promoting Australian education and development of Nepalese diaspora in Australia.